Welcome to Schools Not Out, your daily classroom for CSEC and CAPE students. Today's lesson is on EDPM, where we will be focusing on mail merge. I am Ken Johnson. Okay, now mail merge is a topic that is very important in the business world. You may also encounter mail merge in different aspects of using the computer or completing several documents electronically. Okay, now let us look at one reason we may really be required to use mail merge. Let us look at a little scenario. You have been recently employed to Bromwell University's administrative staff, and your first job of the day is to prepare a personalized acceptance letter or personalized acceptance letters for 200 successful applicants. What word processing tool is suitable to get you to complete this document quickly? Remember now you have over 200 successful applicants to send out this document to. Are we going to copy and paste? Maybe type the letter once and then copy and paste 200 times? Or what feature have you been exposed to that can help us to do this quickly? Now, this feature we refer to as mail merge. So let's get started with our objectives. Today, we'll be looking at the definition of mail merge, the elements of mail merge, the methods that we use to complete mail merge, as well as the steps that we use to complete mail merge using various methods. Now, what is this mail merge that we're talking about? Mail merge is a word processing tool that allows the simultaneous automatic additions of names and addresses to a database, from a database to letters, envelopes, labels, and so on, in order to facilitate sending mails to many addresses. Okay, so mail merge is one topic in EDPM that pops up every year. Well, almost every year. We can count on seeing mail merge coming up. And question 2 of paper 2 is a letter as we know it. And the letter is sometimes done in mail merge. So let us look at the parts. What are the parts that we put together? What are the parts that we merge to really form a merged document? Now, mail merge is completed using 2 documents, or it can be done in Word alone. When we merge these 2 documents, they become one and they form what we call a merged document. So, the 2 documents that we're referring to are the main document and the source document, or also called the data source. The main document, it is also called a form letter or a circular letter that contains the message that we intend to convey to the recipients. It has fields that we will be filling in when the mail merge is complete. So if we are compiling a letter to be sent out to these 200 successful university applicants, the letter that you type up first, without adding the addresses and other details that will change from recipient to recipient, the basic letter that we type up first, we call that the main document. And from the main document, from after we've created the main document, ensuring we do our spell checks and ensuring that the order of the letter is correct, ensuring that the grammar, spelling, and they're all correct and there's no typographical errors, then we move on to completing what we call a data source. The data source can also be completed before we do the main document. Now, the data source is also called data file. You may also hear the term an address list. So the data file, this contains details that will differ from letter to letter, because if you have like 200 letters to send out, your data file will likely contain 200 recipients. And the recipients' details may vary from their names, their titles, if they are if they're being addressed based on their positions within an organization. They may have different lines of addresses. They may also have other details, like if there's a fee that differs from recipient to recipient, or in this case, today's mail merge that we'll be doing actually has details that differ. I think it has courses, yes, courses that may differ from recipient to recipient. Okay, it also contains the other details apart from addresses, fees, and dates. And businesses may have their data source created as a mailing list so that they can quickly complete mail merge. Now, whenever we put the address list and the main document together, we get what we call the merged documents. So these would be some personalized letters now. So remember our trivia question that we asked at the beginning. We mentioned that this office assistant really is supposed to create 200 copies of the letter, and each letter must address the successful applicants of Brown-Mills University, really congratulating them on being successful and other details about their program. All right, now here are the methods. These are 3 methods that we may use to complete mail merge, and the list goes on. We have other methods that are not included here, so this list is not complete, but these are the common methods that we really use to complete mail merge. All right, so in EDPM, we're going to be focusing on completing mail merge using the word processing tool along with spreadsheet. So these are the desktop publishing software that we'll be using today: word processing and spreadsheet. And if time allows, we may run through word processing and the mail merge wizard. All right, so here are the steps that we use to complete mail merge. And these are the steps that we may apply to complete mail merge using Microsoft Word and spreadsheet, which is Microsoft Excel. So we can also apply these steps if we are completing mail merge using Microsoft Word and Microsoft Access. So these are the steps that we'll be following. We are going to be using a database created or a spreadsheet, which is a table that contains all the names and the addresses. We'll also be opening Microsoft Word, and the main document has been created ahead of time, and we'll be selecting the mailings tab. These are the other steps that we'll be following: going to the mailings ribbon, selecting select recipients, and when the drop-down menu appears, we use an existing list, which the list has already been created. Okay, so to better understand these steps, we're going to do a quick run-through of how to complete the mail merge. So let us move over to our other documents that we are going to be using to complete mail merge. So we're opening up the main document, which is a Microsoft Word file. And if you notice that the document has already been created, so it saves us some time. And first and foremost, before we make any changes, let us look at what the documents really look like first. So we're going to move on to a practical example, and let's show what the documents look like first. This is what our document looks like. This is our main document. And I will be interacting with this document in Microsoft Word, right? And if you notice that it has to follow a particular procedure, the line spacing has to be correct. It's in single line spacing. We have our sender's address in the header. We have the reference line, the date, and this space that has been provided right here really facilitates the missing addresses that we'll be slipping in. Now, we don't have over 200 addresses today, but we have a little address list that we'll be using as a practical example. Now, as well, apart from this details provided, we have the ending of our letter. And what you may also find out is that when we complete mail merge, we don't just have the address list to slip into the main document with just addresses. It may contain other information that may come in the body. So that not only do we facilitate the addresses and the greeting line here, but sometimes with your mail merge, you might have like a fee you need to state in the paragraph, or you might have like the different courses for persons who have applied to the university. You may want to state the course, and you may set aside a little spot somewhere where it's appropriate to slip them in, and that may also come from your data file. All right, here is our data source. So our data source consists of 4 individuals, and if you notice that they go by headings, and we have the various fields. We call them merge fields or headings. We have the title, first name, last name, address 1, address 2, parish, and courses. So by now you should get an understanding of what will vary from recipient to recipient. Their title will be different, their first name, last name, their addresses are different, and the courses that they are pursuing are different. All right, so let's do some merging. So let us move over to Microsoft Word, where we will be doing a little merging. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is open Microsoft Word. If you have a computer in front of you, you can try this out too. Now, this is our main document that we'll be working with. And if you notice that I have already left some fields empty, or just a space, I've left out the space. That's where we're going to be filling in the addresses. And if you notice that also we left out this little area here, we're going to delete the line. Of course, you don't have to always put a line. If you know where you're going to be putting your merge fields, you can avoid putting in the lines. All right. We also have a spot here. Congratulations. And we have a spot created. So right here, we will have congratulations, and the recipient's name will pop up there. And there's another space that we'll be putting in another merge field. It will be the name of the program. All right. So let's get started with merging. Now, on my device, I have already created the list of recipients we refer to as the data file. So let's look at what that looks like from Microsoft Excel. All right, so you can open up Microsoft Excel and quickly type a little address list. Okay, this is our little address list that you can type. Just fill in some names, You can, and I always encourage students to, just to save time, if we're not really working from a document, to save time, you can fill in like the names of people in your household, or like seeing that you're at home right now, or you can fill in the names of your classmates, right? So this is the address list that we'll be working with today. Now, in using our address list, let's take a look at what it looks like. So we have title. We have a first column to the left in column A. Title. Then we have first name, last name. The address is just as I have shown you on the PowerPoint presentation. So creating an address list can take a little time, especially if it is that you did not have a program that automatically generated an address list. Like if for Bromwell University, they might have had some online application process in which people would have entered this information, their names, where they live, which course they would like to pursue, as well as other additional information. So from a system like that, it is easy to just copy or extract a spreadsheet with everybody's information and sift through to identify those who have been accepted to their programs. So I hope that you have now created at least 2 recipients in your address list. I hope that you are now ready to do some merging. Okay, so just enter 2 recipients in the interest of time so that we can look at how we do this merging. And they don't have to be my recipients. Okay, so let's go back to our main file. So we have our 2 things. We have, this is our data file and our main document. All right, now let's get to merging. So to start out the mail merge process, we go to the mailings tab right here. And on the mailings tab, you will notice that there are some features that are gray. They're not active. If you should try to click on anything right here, it won't work because we have not activated the mail merge yet, right? All we have thus far is just the main document, and we have an address list. And please note that that address list that you saw in the spreadsheet, it could have been created using the mail merge wizard right here, or it could have been created using Microsoft Access or any other database program. All right, so let's get started. So we've selected our mailings tab, and I hope that you've had enough time to follow all these instructions. We then go to select recipients. Right here, select recipients on the mailings tab. Now, in select recipients, if we were going to use the mail merge wizard that is already existing in Microsoft Word, we would choose type new list. But we already have a list, right? Remember that list in Microsoft Excel? Okay, so we're going to go to use existing list because we have an existing list. All right, and we will be prompted to look for our list. So let's start looking for our list. I think the list is on the desktop. So here we are. And this is our list, our data file. See, it's an Excel file in green. And then we open. All right. It will ask us which sheet in the spreadsheet we want to use, and we only have 1 sheet in use. So we select sheet 1 and select OK. What did you notice happened? If you are observing, you would realize that you see these inactive options at the top on the mailings ribbon. They are now active and ready to be used. So if you look closely, you'll realize that these were gray and they're now active, which means that we're ready to do some mail merge. We're ready to continue the process. Let us see where we go next. The next step, we can actually insert an address block, and Microsoft Word will just slip in the addresses here. Or we can use the merge fields option right here. Now, each of these options have a little bottom segment and a top segment. We're not choosing the top half of the button. We're using the bottom half where the writing is. It says insert merge field. So we go ahead and tap on insert merge field, and you will see a drop-down menu appearing. From your drop-down menu, you will see all of these headings. Remember these headings that we looked at in the spreadsheet? They're right here. So we have title, first name, last name. We have addresses 1 and 2. We have parish. We also have course. And these are the headings that we created in our spreadsheet. So we go ahead and start adding. And to add, we just tap on what we need to pop up. So we tap on title. And you see it popping up? All right. Then we tap the space bar. It's important to tap the space bar, as much as it sounds very simple. Because if we do not put the spaces in between, when we finish merging, everything is going to just be jumbled all together. Okay, so let's continue. Merge field again. And we go to first name. What do we do next? Tap the space bar. All right, and then we go back. We're looking for last name now, because they must have last names. All right. Now, one mistake that students often make is to continue insert the entire list of merge fields in this line right here. We are not to do so. You have to picture in your mind's eye how you would really see the addresses written out, just as though we have these addresses written out here, right? We don't have Bromwell University and everything else in the same line. And we shouldn't have that for this. So we have title, first name, last name. For example, we would have Mrs. Kean Johnson, and then we would enter, and then we would type the first line of the address, enter again, type the second line of the address, and we continue. So you have to think about that so you don't make that mistake in the exam. Okay, so let's drop, enter, and if you notice I have single line spacing for this letter. All right, what are we going for next? If you said address 1, you are correct. So we're moving on to address line 1. Then we tap the enter key because the next line of our address will pop up below. Address line 2. And we tap the enter key again because remember now we're imagining how it would look when we're finished. And then let's go for parish. All right. Now, some students make the mistake of doing this. Put in course right here. Some students put course right here, and you're not supposed to do that because course belongs somewhere else. And if you're observant, you'll realize that course belongs right here, right? Acceptance to complete the course of study in course. So course belongs here because if you do it like this, this will look odd when we finish the mail merge process. All right? So let's get rid of course from that position because it's in the wrong place. All right. Now, you should know the order of the letter. I wonder if you know what comes next. What do we insert right here below parish? Because we're finished with the address lines. We're finished with the sender's address. So we now move on to the greeting line. So the greeting line should come up next. Now, if you observe, let's go back to our mailings ribbon. Do you see an option for greeting line? It's right here. The greeting line option is right here. So to insert greeting line, you could have put in the dear. There are different ways we could do it. You could put in the dear, then insert title and last name. Or we could insert greeting line. So let's tap insert greeting line. And we look at the setting. Is this how you want it to appear? Do you want it to say dear or another greeting? Do you want it to be laid out like this? Just the title and the first name? Or do you want other ways for it to be represented? And do you want this comma? Do you want a comma there? Now, I'm going to select none. And the reason for this is that this is a blocked letter. Now, you should know by now that in creating a blocked letter, we type it in open punctuation, meaning we do not put any punctuation marks at the end of our lines in our heading, nor in the ending of the letter, nor do we put it in the greeting line. So you don't have to always have a comma there. So some persons might debate that, oh, you must put a comma or a colon. No, we don't have to. It depends on the style of the letter that we are using. So you see the greeting line popping up? All right. Now you see them. All this information seems a little bit new, especially if you're new to mail merge, but you will see a magic trick happening. I'm going to work some magic today with mail merge, okay? All right. So we're not finished yet. Because remember now, we need the course of study to be here. So let's just backspace that line. And let's go back to insert merge field. And what are we looking for now? Course. All right. So we have course right there. So this is where we inserted course in the subject line. Okay. Now, we're not finished yet. We need to put congratulations. What is suitable to go here? Congratulations. We can put first name, last name. Or we could just put first name. We're going to put first name here because we're referring to our applicants by first name. in the body of the letter. But it's dependent, again, on what your document asks you for, because in your exam, you would normally be given a letter to type. The details that I have here would have been provided to you maybe in handwritten format, and you have to convert it into typewritten text. All right, so right here, we are putting in the last, inserting the last merge field. So we have congratulations, first name. You have been accepted to complete the program of study in course. So we have to slip in the course right here. We go back to find the course in insert merge field. All right. And remember to tap that space bar, because you don't want words adjoining whenever we finish the mail merge process. So let's do a little check. And one thing that one mistake that students often make too, that you should try avoiding, is you see in the address list area here, do not make the mistake of putting it in double line spacing. It has to be all together in single line spacing, just like the rest of the words on the page. All right, let's look at what the rest of our letter looks like. Okay, our signature block is right there for Mr. James Conrad to sign. Maybe he's the university president. Well, yes, he is. All right, and it recognizes Bromwell as being incorrect. Let's add that to the dictionary. All right, we can add it at a later time. Now let's see what we have created together. To do a little bit, to get a little bit of a test run on what we have done today, we're going to preview our results. So tapping preview results right here will give you a little idea of what, right here, of what we have created today. And in previewing the results, we can click on the forward and backward arrows to really see the various letters that we have created before we finish and merge. Okay, so let's preview our results. Okay, so in previewing your results, it gives you a chance to really see what the final result should look like. And then you go to finish and merge. We go to edit individual documents, and then we select OK. Okay? And in doing so, you will see multiple copies of the letter popping up. Now, there's another way in which we can really complete this mail merge document. If it is that we wanted to do it using the, okay, so it's finally come to life. It has finally come to life. So we go to preview results. So do you realize, let's deselect preview results again. So focus your eyes and let's see what the difference is. Do you see what came up? Yes, our merge fields have now revealed to show the recipient. That's our first recipient. Our second recipient, focus your eyes and you'll see the changes. Third recipient. And our fourth recipient. Now, can you imagine if we really had 200 recipients to really send this out to? We already had an easily generated address list. And we also had this letter pre-prepared for us. The mail merge process, something that may take you an entire day to really do, copying and pasting in addresses, is just easily done using mail merge. So instead of you sitting down all day copying and pasting addresses and the courses and other details that will differ from letter to letter, we can simply use mail merge to fit them in. Although today we just used 4 details, it can be used to complete more letters. So we go to finish and merge, then edit individual documents, and we want to merge all records, and we select OK. All right. Now, remember we had how many letters before? Just one single letter. Let's see how many letters we have, and let's look at them being, they have been personalized. Do you see? Mr. Joel Brown has his letter, and he's doing his course in leadership and management. And you see here we have congratulations, Joel, and you see leadership and management right here as well, right? So you'll see the changes from here. We have another change right here and in the addresses, all right? So let's look at what happened us as well with the others. Do we have other letters? Yes, we do. This is our second letter that was created. So we just worked some magic, right? Let's see if we had any more letters. Yes, we have one more letter. This is the third recipient that we had in our list. And we should have one more letter because there were four recipients in our list. All right? Now, if you had just done this with me, congratulations on completing mail merge. You will also notice that, let me show you what happened here. We have a blank letter down here. And the reason for this is that we had, if it is that you had a blank space below each of your documents, or the first document that we had, a blank space will always come up. Like we had a blank page below our first document, a blank page will always come up after all of the letters that came up. So we have 4 letters that we created today using the mail merge feature. All right. So if you did this with me and you were successful, great job. I'm proud of you. Good job. All right. There's another way that we can actually complete mail merge, and I'm going to just show you quickly. Let's close this. Well, I'm not going to save it, but you can save yours just for future reference. Now, here's another way in which we could complete the mail merge process. We could, when we selected select recipients, we could select use existing list. Well, type new list. Select recipients, then type new list. Because we used use existing list before. So this is another method that some of you are familiar with. Use typing a new list. If we're going to type a new list or use this feature, this is mail merge done using the mail merge wizard. This is the mail merge done without even interacting with spreadsheet. So you would just interact with one document and then we'll be prompted to create a data file here. So if we did not create the data list before with the 4 recipients, we could create it this way as well. So we have title, first name, last name already typed up for us. Let's see what else is there. Just exposing it to another method. We have company name, address lines 1, 2, 3, city, zip code, country or region, home phone. But guess what? Sometimes we don't even need all of these these headings. We don't need all of these columns. So if you're asked to do mail merge and you choose to do it this method, you will need to customize your columns. All right, and remember now, this is not really a part of the steps that we had gone through earlier. This is another way you could have done the mail merge. Because once we finished and merge and our documents came up, that was where the first process ended. If you're finished with the mail merge, you could save and close. But this part I'm showing you now is another method that we could have used instead of using the first method that we had gone through. All right? We would then need to delete some of these fields or headings that we have, and we could really rename some of them. So we can expose that another time. All right, so for today, we looked at mail merge. We also looked at the steps in completing mail merge. We actually did a mail merge. We looked at the various methods that we may use, and we explored just one. And I really hope that you have really gotten a refresher, or if it is that this was new to you, you would have learned something, and you can practice. Create that address list and practice. Create that letter and practice. And you can also rely on the past paper questions, find some mail merge questions in it, and practice. All right? Because it is really good to have this skill, not just for CXC, but you may be one day creating a list of, well, creating a letter, and you need to send out this one letter to multiple recipients, and mail merge will come in very, very handy. Okay, so that's all for today for CSEC EDPM and mail merge. We hope that you have grasped some of the points that we have discussed. And until next time, I am Kayan Johnson.